Hello and welcome to Delta College Impact. I'm Roger Waller, your host for today's program. And on today's show, we're going to talk about the new and exciting Tracy Learning Center. And joining me on the program, I have two special guests. And to my immediate left is Jesse Garza-Roderick, who is the Associate Dean for the Tracy Learning Center. And to Jesse's left is Greg McCreary, a member of the Board of Trustees representing the Tracy area. Welcome to Impact, and I know, Jesse, you are really excited about, I guess we could call it the TLC, the Tracy Learning Center. And you might give us a little overview of what the Tracy Learning Center involves and some of the exciting new developments down there.
Actually, the Tracy Learning Center is exciting. We went into this new 14,000 square foot facility in January. We were anticipating occupying it in the fall when we had 1,000 students and we used West High's facilities. However, our new facility has 7 classrooms, one which is distance ed, teleconferencing capabilities. We have 6 classrooms. They're all smart classrooms. Roger, you've been there, you've seen them. We've got approximately 900 students currently and gearing up for summer school. It's an exciting opportunity for the residents of Tracy and the outlying areas.
And I think that that's exciting. Jesse talked about a smart classroom, and that's a classroom that has computer capabilities, audio-visual capabilities, computer links to the internet, a variety of smart things, including the students. We have a lot of smart students down there. And talking about that is Greg McCreary from Tracy. And Greg, I know one of the things, Delta has served the Tracy area for a lot of years, but it seems like Tracy's growing a little bit and desires a little bit more education. You might talk about the needs of Tracy and some of the growth that's going on down in the Tracy area.
Well, I came to Tracy in 1962, and we had about 15,000 people. And today we have over 50,000, and they're projecting we'll have 160,000 by 2020. So the town is obviously growing. One of the things absent in our community is a junior college. And this junior college is probably the greatest thing that's happened to Tracy in a long, long time. And all the residents of the Tracy and the business community are looking very forward to the completion of this school.
And I know, and that's a good point as we talk about the completion, because this is really just phase 1, isn't it, Jesse, as we talk about getting the Tracy Learning Center. And we might talk where it's located and where people can find you, and we'll have the address later in the show. But let's talk a little bit about the evolution and where we're going in Tracy.
Okay, currently we're in this portable facility. It doesn't look very portable. It's right next to West High. And we do get a lot of students from Tracy High also. I must add that because there's a lot of, sometimes a little bit of tension because we did locate next to West High, but the property was available there and we relocated the old Stanislaus portable building that was here on the campus. The plans call for actually the new facility to be built and ready for occupancy in 2005. But in the meantime, we're growing at a pretty rapid pace. As Greg mentioned earlier, the demand is there, the need is there, and we're really excited about the fact that we're providing educational opportunities to a community that hadn't been served previously.
And I know one of the things that Jesse mentioned is the fact that we start to see us moving to another location. And Greg, I know down the road we're talking about a potential campus that may be the size of the Delta campus here in Stockton.
That's correct. We have a total of 200 acres out at what is now known as the Antenna Farm, name given to it during the Second World War. But on this area will be our campus plus a high school, a junior high school, an elementary school, and also some high-tech businesses that will be in a partnership with all 3 units. The whole thing is developing very rapidly.
And I know the amazing thing is when we talk about it is the potential of 18,000 students, 15 to 18,000 students who could be on another campus located in Tracy. Now that's not going to happen next week, and that's sort of a down the road type of thing. But I know, Jesse, one of the things that you've been doing, not only talking with students, but talking with some of the businesses that are going to be locating in Tracy and some of their educational needs. And you might talk a little bit about that.
Correct. Actually, Greg, I have been to 66 groups, whether it's Rotary, Lions Clubs, churches, you name it. And they've also been on campus there in Tracy, at the Tracy Learning Center. The interest is high. I've interviewed quite a few of the chamber organizations. I've been to San Jose. I've talked to a couple of high-tech firms. We're also trying to determine what type of skills, ability, educational levels our future workforce will need. The city of Tracy just contracted with the consulting firm out of Berkeley that will be doing a needs analysis and will actually be interviewing 10 high-tech firms such as Microsoft, Cisco Systems, Sun Microsystems, and it will narrow that down to 5 eligible firms and look at the connections between the Tracy Learning Center and these firms. That's exciting because they'll be co-located with us at the business park at the 200 acres that Greg talked about earlier.
And I know, Greg, as we start to talk about the development in Tracy, you start to see new high-tech businesses coming in. You see the new Tracy Mall that's developing. And I guess really one of the keys is, how do you see that economy in Tracy growing? You're no longer that sleepy little suburb that you used to be. Do you see a lot of that business growth?
Businesses are growing. A couple of years ago at an industrial luncheon, they had a preview of all industries in Tracy, and I've been there, as I said, for 30-some years, and I was amazed at the industry that's in that town, and they just keep coming and coming. There's 2 reasons. One is the workforce is growing very rapidly because of the people that have moved over from the Bay Area and from out of state with much more training than used to exist in Tracy. So the companies are coming because they have people there to work, and that always brings industry. And also, of course, the price of land compared to the Bay Area is just about nothing at this particular point in time.
Right now, and speaking of land, we're going to take a look at the new Tracy Learning Center. So as we go to our video, we're going to get an idea of what it looks like now. And Jesse, you might talk to the audience a little bit about what we're seeing.
Okay, this is the front of our building.
And you can start to see where these are portable buildings that had been on the Delta campus that were relocated to Tracy. And this site is located on the west side of Tracy Merrill West High School. And it looks like you have adequate parking.
Absolutely. Actually, right now, the way we're housed and the way the parking is situated, we have, on any given night, our highest enrollment has been, 300 students, and you can imagine a lot of these students are commute to work. So we do have 350 vehicles parked at the facility, including a lot of the students that come over after class to take an evening class there.
And look at your office. It looks like a place just ready and waiting for the students.
Actually, it's one-stop shopping, Roger. The student can take care of admissions, registration, financial aid information without having to go anywhere. The look, we're hoping, will be one of high-tech, smart classrooms. We want people to feel that we're keeping up with what the industry requires.
And so what you're saying is a student who walks in your door, as these two are, they don't have to come down to the Stockton campus to get registered. They can do everything in Tracy?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And now we're looking at one of those smart classrooms with a lot of smart students and a smart instructor.
You bet. They're all smart when it comes to Tracy. This is one of our larger classrooms. Actually, it is the largest. It's our computer laboratory. This is a particular 17B history class. It's really amazing how the mix of our student population and our faculty just really comes together really well. Even the young students with the non-traditional students, the blend, our faculty has many times mentioned the fact that it is a very, very nice learning environment.
Well, I know the exciting thing is that not only can the instructor be lecturing and using the internet, but it looks like the students also have access with a large number of computers.
Absolutely, and all of the computers have all of the program software that faculty request. Whatever class is being taught, the instructor, even if it's an adjunct instructor, can request XYZ type of software. And as long as we have a little bit of notice, before the semester begins, that software will be loaded onto the main system and available to all of the desktops there.
And not only do you get classes that are originating in Tracy, but you also get classes that come from the main campus here in Stockton. You might talk a little bit about your multimedia and how the students are linked to classes from anywhere.
That's correct. And in the fall, we'll be introducing our Polycom system, which is exciting because we'll be able to originate from campus or from Tracy. I'll be able to attend meetings that are held here and not have to drive, physically get in a car. It's just very functional. It's up and coming, new technology.
And I know one of the things as you start to look at this and you start to see clean, new materials, updated technology, and that's all located at 1895 West Lowell Avenue in Tracy. And it looks like your telephone number there too, which is the 209-833-7900 to learn more about the Tracy Learning Center.
Correct.
And I know you invite people to just stop by and see what's going on. What are the hours of the office?
You read my mind, Roger. That's what I was going to say. We're open Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Fridays, 8 to 5, and we're also there on Saturday mornings because we have computer classes going on Saturday mornings.
And I know that's really one of the things when you start to think about, because one of your keys is making the classes available, one, the people want it. And you've talked a little bit about, you know, evening classes and day classes. You might talk about some of the scheduling issues that you're dealing with.
Well, we're trying to push alternative scheduling, and faculty seem to like that. And we have a couple of adjunct faculty who commute from, like, for example, Livermore, and they really enjoy the Friday, Saturday morning component. We're trying to really emphasize the need to meeting our student needs, and that is on an alternative schedule. They're working or they're going to school, like high school during the day, so the only time they can take classes are in the evening. We're experimenting with all different kinds of models. The Tracy Unified School District is going to adopt at its next Tuesday board meeting a reduced minimum day on Mondays. So faculty can have a staff development during the morning, and it'll free up the high school students to be able to take advanced placement courses with us.
And so that really is going to start to link Delta and the Tracy Unified School District a lot closer. And I know, Greg, that really makes you feel good, because in Tracy, one of the things that you've been involved in is trying to bring that community college education into the community and expand the opportunities for not only the students, but the citizens of Tracy. How do you see the Tracy Learning Center meshing with Tracy Unified School District?
Well, not only will it mesh with Tracy Unified School District, but we also have plans to have partnerships with four-year colleges such as UC Merced. One of the primary things, although this is a high-tech center and this is the direction that we're going and the high-tech companies are coming in, one of the things we should not forget is that there will now be a school in this town so for people to attend without leaving town. And as you know, Roger, a lot of us have our college degrees today because we happen to grow up in a town where there was a university, and if the university had been 50 miles away, we probably wouldn't have been able to go for financial reasons, lack of interest, exposure, whatever. So therefore, within the town of Tracy, for those that are there now and the people that are yet to come, there will be a facility where they can go and get a four-year education, and a lot of these people never would have even considered it in years past. So I think this is probably, for the city of Tracy, is probably even more important than the high-tech aspect, because it will be able to serve all the residents of Tracy. And as you know, as this thing grows and we get into the new location, I think that the 25-year outlook is, like you say, 18 to 20,000 people. So it's going to be a key center for the southern end of the, or for the northern end of the San Joaquin Valley.
I think it's exciting, and we're going to be learning more about the Tracy Learning Center after a brief public service message, so stay tuned and let's learn more about TLC, the Tracy Learning Center.
Your future. future begins at San Joaquin Delta College.
Welcome back to Delta College Impact. I'm Roger Waller, your host for today's program. And on today's show, we're talking about the Tracy Learning Center. And joining me on this half are, again, returning from the first half of the show, we have Jesse Garza-Roderick, who is the Associate Dean for the Tracy Learning Center, and Greg McCreary, a member of the Delta College Board of Trustees representing the Tracy area. And Jesse, let's talk a little bit about the Tracy Learning Center. We saw in the first half of the show, exciting new facility down there, but it's not an easy journey. We've been offering classes down in Tracy for a lot of years, but to get a permanent facility down in Tracy, I know has taken a lot of discussion, a lot of work. Let's talk about that journey.
Oh, the journey is long. I came on board approximately July, and in the fall, Delta College offered approximately 50 courses, and that's when the administration said, "Oh, Jesse, you'll get maybe 500 students, 600 students, 1,000 students came." During the spring semester, the courses are hovering right around 50, 53. Some of them are internet, and all of the classes are housed at the Tracy Learning Center. We're not leasing any facilities. We're all centralized, and we're providing the one-stop shopping I talked about earlier to our students. Now, in terms of the timeline, community colleges, the process it needs to take, it revolves anywhere from 6 to 7 years, but we need to build the enrollment, collaborate with partners, as Greg mentioned earlier, four-year institutions, to also integrate our curriculum and include the Tracy Unified School District as we blend a lot of our programs, and of course it's going to require time to do that. The partnerships are the most exciting component, I believe, to this Tracy Learning Center.
And I know, Greg, you're one member of a board of 7 people who represent the San Joaquin Delta College Community College District. And so when you start talking with them about Tracy, they're talking to you about other areas. What was it that made the board say we have to make this commitment? Because it's a long-term investment in the Tracy area. It's not just for one semester or 1 year. It's an investment for the long term. What sort of discussions went on to reach this point?
Well, as many people probably don't realize, Delta College covers an area of about 2,500 square miles. And we have to serve the people in all of these different areas, and it goes up into the mountains, over to almost to the coast, all these various areas. And there are, as you said, 6 other trustees that represent different areas. The responsibility of Delta College, if you will, is to serve all of the people in our entire district. And what really started this was the population move. The various towns have grown very rapidly in the last 30 years around the valley, but now because of the location of Tracy being between the 3 highways, Highway 5, Highway 580 and 99, we're getting a lot of traffic, a lot of people moving from the Bay Area. It's sort of the gateway. And so consequently, due to the fact that our population is growing so fast, and there were surveys taken by professionals to find out, predict where all of these things were going to happen in the future, this made our Board of Trustees sit down and say, well, you know, there's too many people over there to just have a few of them driving over here. So that is the obvious place for Delta to expand and go over. And as Jesse said, we now have a temporary location, but in a few years we will have not only another location for Delta, but a very unique educational program from kindergarten on up, which we hope will be a very fluid situation. I'm reminded of, as you know, I taught high school in Tracy for about 10 years, a long, long time ago. But anyway, even in those days, we had a lot of students that middle of their senior year had met all of their high school requirements, and there was no place for them to go, so they became teachers' aides or they did some other very productive thing. But now they will have the opportunity to, within a very short distance, go out and begin their college education in the middle of their senior year and really get started. This has been going on, of course, in the metropolitan areas for years, and a lot of kids start their four-year universities with a tremendous jump on kids from rural areas. So this will be an opportunity, another opportunity for people in the Tracy, Manteca, that area of the county, for these kids to be able to get this same jump on things.
And I know, Jesse, as Greg talks about this, I know you get excited because you are actually meeting those students and talking to them about these opportunities. And I know you've done a lot of work with the high schools in the Tracy area. You might talk about the experiences and how you're trying to tailor the services of the TLC, the Tracy Learning Center, to meet the needs of the students.
Actually, Roger, we have. I've had both Tracy High School and West High ASB government. I hosted a couple of pizza parties. Our new president, Dr. Gould, was there, also joined him. Our Associated Student Body people here from the campus joined us. We've had the clubs come up there and host both governments. The feedback has been wonderful from the students because they feel they're actually taking part in developing this future facility, which will be a model for the state of California in the way we integrate K through higher ed, and the way we learn how students should be taught, how we teach teachers to teach, and what we teach them. The most exciting component, I think, of all of this is how we blend the K through higher ed, not just the curriculum, but faculty, in both directions. Earlier I talked about the exciting opportunities with Lawrence Livermore Lab and also Merced College and UC Merced. UC Merced anticipates having its first 300 students within 3 years. And the exciting part for parents in Tracy is that a great majority of those students can come from both of these high schools. The achievement levels for these students is phenomenal. As I told Greg earlier, I was really impressed. I've got students who ask me if they can take pre-calc. They want AP, which is unheard of in my field, and I've been in higher education for 18 years, to have students want advanced type of curriculum. But it's exciting. I think the population is ready. The city is ready. They're moving every day. You get a new family into that city, and the parents are well educated. The city did a survey, and a great majority of the parents have advanced degrees in engineering, or they work in Silicon Valley. So the educational expectations for the students are just as high.
And I know one of the things when you talk about that, all I think about are commuters, and you talked about 580 going into the Bay Area. And I know one of the hopes is that the students won't have to get on the road and drive anywhere, that they can just stay close to home and not add to that traffic problem, I guess, that we're looking at. Now, as you start to talk a little bit about some of the services, and I know the exciting thing is that the students can have financial aid, as well as the cost of community college education is so inexpensive that it really helps to prepare them. You might talk a little bit about some of those targeted services you're providing for the students out there.
Actually, our services currently are more information giving, forms, referrals. We don't have an expanded staffing levels yet. We're trying to determine, first of all, the type of question, the level of complexity of the type of questions that we get from students and parents. We have parents come in. And 9 times out of 10, the student wants to research the internet because they want to see what Berkeley has, what a couple of other universities back east requirements have. They're searching for grants on the internet. They're very computer technology oriented. So we're able to provide those opportunities for these parents and at least link them to other educational institutions. But as Greg mentioned earlier, a lot of these kids are able to take college courses their senior year or earlier. I'm seeing some kids take it earlier.
And I know when we talk about the linking and the development of that new area, the Tracy Learning Center and the permanent site, that really talks about a close working relationship between the entities of the community college district as well as the high schools and the other educational resources down there. Greg, you might talk about some of those discussions that you've been involved in.
Well, I might clarify that one of the processes that we use, there is a policy board for Tracy Learning Center. That policy board is made up of the superintendent president here at the college and myself as being a trustee, also of Keith Larrick, superintendent in Tracy schools, and Bill Swenson, one of their trustees, and also the mayor of Tracy and the city manager. So we've got 6 people that sit and meet periodically and are fed the information from Jessie and her group, who meet much more often and really get down to the nitty-gritty of putting this stuff together. So we meet just as we did yesterday, as a matter of fact, and start talking about the future of this thing and how it's actually going to come together, how much it's going to cost, and the problems of getting the land. And fortunately, Congressman Pombo from Tracy did his thing in Washington, and that's how this 200 acres came to us supposedly free of charge. And that's just about completed now. And so this has been going on for about 3 years, as I understand it. And I was there at the beginning, and time flies fast when you get to be my age. But we do have some very important meetings, and coordinating the high school, the city, the Delta College. And so these meetings have been going on for a long time. They started out very general, and now they're getting to be more and more specific, and we're talking about sharing of costs because it's going to be a main thing. We're going to have some shared facilities on this campus. The foods will be shared. There's going to be, ideally, not tomorrow, but when this program really gets going into phase 2 and 3, we will have a physical fitness center which will be shared. We'll have a library which will be shared, not only by these 3 entities, but hopefully by community members. So the city of Tracy will have at their disposal, the average citizen will be able to go out to this, I was starting to say the college, but to this facility, the Tracy Learning Center, and we'll be able to go out there and use computers, use the library, use the physical fitness center. So the entire community will be able to take advantage of this entire thing. And at this time, of course, we're taking baby steps, but relative to where we were 3 years ago, we're taking giant steps. And it's just going to happen and more and more and more. And one of the conditions of this for funding for this school was for us to be able to have 500 students within the first year. We've got well over that now.
And I know that's the exciting, the future is very bright for the Tracy Learning Center. And I know, Jesse, you might want to talk a little bit about those hours when you're open. Here's the address for the people in the area around Tracy to stop by and take a look at us. But the hours for people to stop by are when?
Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and that's unless it's a holiday. Fridays, 8 to 5, and we're usually there Saturday mornings from 8 o'clock until noon.
And I know that gives you an idea that we are here to service the Tracy area and to get the students to feel comfortable when they come to get the TLC, the Tracy Learning Center, and start taking classes here at Delta College. Thanks to my guests, and thanks for watching, and we encourage you to watch future Delta College Impact programs. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.